Hello, it's some dust or something. I'm here today to talk about the Suchomimus in Path of Titans. This is an awesome dinosaur that I have actually done a showcase on before, but that was back before the Night Stalker update came and just flipped everything on its head. For one thing, the Sucho has had a model rework, which looks just amazing. I like it so much more than it was before. But on top of that, dinosaur abilities, dinosaur stats, pretty much everything in this game was flipped around with that update. So I figured it was a good time for me to come through and kind of brush up on the Suchomimus. So how's it stand now? How good is it? What do I think about it? And should you grow it? Let's get into it. To start off, the Suchomimus is a sub-apex. So what does that mean? That means that you are big. The Sucho's combat weight is 5,000, which is the same as the Sarco. That is about 1,500 below T-Rex and Spino for reference. It also means you have pretty good bulk. The Sucho has 700 HP, which is the same as an Allo. I think only 100 below the T-Rex. Its attacks do a lot of damage, and in large part thanks to that weight. Another thing I can say about the Sucho is that it is a subaquatic. So what that means is I can be effective on land. See, I can run around, I'm pretty mobile, I'm fast, it's all good. I'm not going through my stamina that crazy. And if I need to, I can go into the water, and I can dive. And now, I'm under the water. You can see my oxygen is going down very slowly, which is awesome. It makes this a very effective subaquatic. But also, I can regain my stamina while I'm in the water, unless I'm sprinting. And speaking of sprinting, the Sucho is pretty fast when it comes to sprinting. The only things faster than the Sucho's water sprint, so other sprinting dinos, are the Spinosaurus, the Dinocurus, the Sarcosuchus, and the Kaiwekia. To my knowledge, those are the only ones that are faster than you, and that is awesome because none of those are going to be able to chase you on land. So they may be able to run you down in the water and give you a spook, but worst case, you come out on land and you get moving. Now, your stamina drain on land is a little more serious than it is in the water. In the water, it's actually not bad at all. You can sprint in the water for a really long time without running out, so it's really good about that. So we've gone over that. Now let's get into this thing's metabolism. If I go to my abilities here, you have two options. You have Fisher and you have Hyper Carnivore. You start off with Fisher, which I prefer. Lets you eat meat and fish, but you can upgrade to the Hyper Carnivore if you want that slower food drain. That's an option for you. So all things considered, you are a big, beefy dude. When it comes to like matchups and things, I think you can handle yourself in combat really well against anything that isn't an Apex. You know, maybe watch out for like Stegos, but you weigh more than Allos. So even though you have the same health, your combat weight's higher, which means you'll be doing more to them and they'll be doing less to you. And I mean, pretty much everything else, it's the same deal. I would say definitely be careful in the water with Sarcos, because especially with Ambusher, it is possible for them to get a charge up and get you. And then obviously they're faster than you when it comes to being in the water. So something to keep in mind with that. But otherwise, everything in the water you're faster than those things I listed earlier. And those things that I listed earlier can't keep up with you on land. So you are a fantastic subaquatic amphibious dinosaur. Let's get into the kit on this thing. We go to the abilities. You only have a bite for the head slot, and your senses, you have two choices. You can pick either Drenched Blows or Nictitating Membrane. So Nictitating Membrane's pretty common for these kinds of dinosaurs, lets you see clearer underwater. I choose to go with the Drenched Blows because anything that's in the water, which you'll always be around if not in, and especially if you find yourself fighting any of those guys I listed earlier, you're going to want that extra 10% damage to those other aquatics, subaquatics, sorry. For the front limb, you do get a claw attack that inflicts bleed. Went over the metabolisms. So for hide, you now have streamlined and amphibious scales. This is a new one. So I'm running streamlined right now. Increases swim speed and turning speed by 10%. You can run amphibious scales, which will, to my knowledge, what this does is it keeps your water from going down longer while you're on land. It helps you from drying out. On legs, you do have webbed feet, which again increases your swim speed and decreases your swim stamina drain. So this is really good to get. And then for tail, you can go with either your tail attack, which causes knockback, or you can get this paddle tail, increases swim speed and turn speed. I think that's actually not a bad choice either, but I like having a complete range whenever it comes to defending myself or attacking. So, like I said, you got the bite, you got the tail attack, and you got the claw attack. And the wonderful thing about all of those is that none of them use stamina, which makes the Sucho a very stamina-friendly fighter. Aloe, for example, I know its claw attack uses stam. A lot of dinos have attacks, one or the other, that uses stam, but not with the Sucho. Yeah, so that's the kit. That's what I think about this thing. I guess we'll get into the calls and animations now. Starting, if I can get away from the slakeweed, starting with the broadcast. A lot of its calls are very, like, breathy. They sound like hisses, kind of. Here's your heart call. Your aggro. Your alert. Low call. And then you have quite a few animations to go through here as well. You have to shake it off. A stretch, a look around, and a scratch, which is pretty funny to me. So those are the calls and animations. Now let's get into the skins on this guy. It does have quite a few pretty cool skins. The default, which actually isn't that bad. You got Crido. You got Redback, Redneck, which is the next thing I'm going to be going for here. The backer skin, Yellow Belly, Storm, Rippled, Milkshake, Snakehead, which is what I'm running now, Red Tail, Albino, and Melanistic. So those are your choices there. Hi, Packy. You can't jump, by the way. I feel like that Pecky's taunting me. So yeah, that's the thing with the Sarco. You are a fast swimmer. You're a pretty fast runner. I don't think you break like 1,000 on your max sprint speed. But it's not a bad run at all. Your stamina drain on land isn't even that terrible. Your stamina drain in water, especially after getting that one update or upgrade I was talking about, is just fine. You're a very fast swimmer. Good attack, good bulk. Just a great dinosaur for people that want to, you know, be combative. This thing can definitely handle itself in a fight. But also, if you just want like an all-purpose dino that can swim, it can live on land, you can fish if you don't want to eat meat, and you can take care of yourself, the Suchomimus is a fantastic choice. But yeah, I think that about does it for the Suchomimus and Path of Titans. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video was informative for you. And yeah, have a good day.